So that gives me some confidence that this actually is a pretty sustainable move, and it's not, a bubble that's about to burst. But I have a supply model and a demand model, and the next and last time that those two models intersect is at around 100K in a couple of years. Bitcoin is like a more convex version of gold. It obviously has even scarcer supply, and gold does not have the network dynamics that Bitcoin does. So it makes sense that Bitcoin would outperform gold.
Director of Global Macro at Fidelity Investments Jurrien Timmer predicted Wednesday that Bitcoin could reach 100,000 by 2023, saying that his supply and demand models for the crypto intersect at that level. In an interview with CNBC, he described the recent upswing in Bitcoin as a pretty sustainable move, which was not driven by momentum traders. Looking at the recent price action in Bitcoin, the crypto traded below 42,000 in late September before rallying to a level near 58,000 in recent days. The crypto has risen about 25% in the past month, substantially outperforming the S&P 500, which has dipped about 2% over that period. Will Bitcoin outperform gold? Will Bitcoin reach 100,000 by 2023? Will Bitcoin threaten the dollar reserve status? Watch the rest of the CNBC interview to find out what the numbers clearly share about Bitcoin and why so many are bullish on Bitcoin now.
Good morning. It's been a very stealthy advance. What I would define as the tourists, so holders of Bitcoin for less than 3 months. They're only at 15% of all coins held, and that is actually below where we see most bottoms happen. So at the top, it was about 35%. So this has not been a momentum-fueled run by short-term speculators. So that gives me some confidence that this actually is a pretty sustainable move, and it's not, a bubble that's about to burst. And as you point out, 100K, and I know better than to make bold price predictions on the air, and certainly Twitter will do that for me anyway, so I don't need to. But I have a supply model and a demand model, and the next and last time that those two models intersect is at around 100K in a couple of years. And so, my sense is the trajectory is up, and so far there really is no evidence that this is a bunch of momentum chasers bringing this up to back to 57, and today more like 54.
Yeah, you even make the point that you know better to make bold price projections. I know you're looking at your supply-demand model. You take a look at Bitcoin through the eyes of the multiple to gold. What do you think's behind that? Where are we on that?
Yeah, it's just another way of looking at what the value is of Bitcoin, and I've done another study where I compare it actually to Apple's network and its valuation and its size. And this is all about exponential network effects. But one way to look at it is if gold is the traditional store of value, and of course it always has been and still is, I would argue. I think Bitcoin and gold are two different players on the same team. And so gold's trading at about 32 times. Bitcoin's trading at about 32 times gold. And it's not, again, moving parabolically away from gold. It's moving up away from gold, but not in a sense where I think it's unsustainable. So, Bitcoin is like a more convex version of gold. It obviously has even scarcer supply, and gold does not have the network dynamics that Bitcoin does. So it makes sense that Bitcoin would outperform gold, but it's always a question of the relative value, just like we would look at gold versus silver, for instance.
Yeah, Jurrien, I've definitely heard those comparisons to gold, also this idea of digital real estate. But as you start to see potentially more countries and consumers adopt it or find ways to use it as a means of payment, I'm thinking about El Salvador or most recently Brazil, which is moving forward with Bitcoin plans as well. Does that threaten or undermine the dollar in any way? Would you potentially expect to see Bitcoin begin to trade with some sort of correlation to the FX market, for example?
I really don't think Bitcoin threatens the dollar or the dollar's reserve status, and I know that's a common narrative among the hardcore Bitcoiners, and I do not subscribe to that at all. And actually, I've heard the point made that maybe it actually further ensures that the dollar will maintain its reserve status, because all of a sudden currency is going to be available in farther flung reaches of the world through Bitcoin, and it's still probably going to be, connected to the dollar in some way. So I don't think the dollar's hegemony as a reserve currency is at risk at all. And I think Bitcoin, Bitcoin's value prop, of course, is that ultimately it goes from just being a store of value to also being, a medium of exchange, and that depends on these second layers that are being created right now, because obviously Bitcoin is kind of clunky, it's slow, it's not very scalable. So those L2 innovations need to happen, and they are happening.
As of the 14th of October, Bitcoin was at $57,487, and it has been a steady rise from $54,711 at the start of the week. What do you think about what Jurrien Timmer shared during this interview? Do you believe that Bitcoin could really reach 100,000 by 2023? Let us know what you think in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. That is it for our featured video for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, do give it a like and do subscribe to the channel so we can always keep you updated on all cryptocurrencies. Till the next video, this is Crypto Revolution.